But having done it and having, quote, stepped into myself and done the messy action, like now I know what that feels like. No going back.
Welcome, Badass Manifester. I am so glad you are here. I'm your host, Ashley Gordon, master mindset and manifestation biz coach and multiple six-figure entrepreneur obsessed with empowering you to create quantum leaps in your energy, your life, and your business. Together, we'll make magic your everyday normal, bringing you the highest vibrational content to power your conscious and subconscious mind with manifestation and mindset tools, teachings, and experts to put your potential into action. Consider this your weekly up level. Here's the quantum transformation, baby. Say it with me. Let's do this. Welcome back to the Badass Manifester podcast. Woo! Happy Monday, or whenever you're listening to this episode. I'm really excited today because I have a client on the show with me. She is also a friend. She's also my attorney for my business. It sounds so official saying that. But her name is Natalie Puglisi. And she helps boss babes set up their online business, protect their content, get legally compliant AF, and she's awesome. She's just awesome. So welcome to the show.
Thanks. I'm so excited to be here.
It's so excited.
Surreal to be on here. I'm so excited.
I know. You guys, we have officially hit, like when this is recorded, this will come out later, but when this has been recorded, right now, I just checked, we have like 217,000 downloads.
Wow. Where's your balloons?
I know, right? I need balloons. Someone send me
a cake
balloons.
Or something. Someone send something.
Seriously, I'm celebrating it for sure. It's like, it's wild.
It's surreal. That's so exciting.
Yeah. And so I really think that this episode is going to be about growth because that's what Natalie's journey has been. And I wanted to, she asked me to come on and I was like, yes, because she has such a beautiful journey and I want her to share it with you guys so you can see what's possible when you just decide to show up for your dreams. So Natalie, why don't you share a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how you got here.
Yeah. So I'm an attorney in California, and I kind of had like a normal journey to become an attorney. Like I got good grades in high school, went to college, got good grades in college, went to law school, joined a local firm, and was like super content just kind of doing what I was doing, working at it was 4 attorneys, a really small local law firm. And then one day they came to me and they said, hey, we want to downsize our firm and prepare for retirement. So you got to go find another job. And I was like, always wanted to be like a 9-to-5er. So for me, it was incredibly frightening, just like knowing that I would have to be an entrepreneur and kind of put myself out there. And so I decided, well, I'm just going to build my own firm, and just out of necessity, really. But the whole entire time I was building my firm, I was applying for other jobs. I was like in denial about it. And obviously, like when I look about it now, it makes me laugh because I didn't know anything about how the universe works. And it was like screaming at me to do this. And I like wasn't listening, which is like, anyway, that's the whole nother podcast episode. But
we'll weave that in.
So while I was building my firm out, it was really difficult for me to figure out exactly what I needed to do in order to become legally compliant and to protect my website and protect my content and all of that stuff. And it kind of dawned on me that there's probably a lot of other fierce, badass online babes that are trying to build their business and that don't know it either. And if I couldn't figure it out and I'm an attorney, I can't imagine how difficult it would be for, someone who just has zero idea about the law. So that kind of just started this business, and I prepared it for 2 years, which I know this will like lead into the story, but I sat on it for 2 years and I like built my website. I built my templates. I thought about it. I like joined courses. I did all the things, but I didn't jump. I didn't do any. I was
So
like,
wait. So you have your own firm, and then at one point were you like, I want to take this online?
well, my husband's an entrepreneur. He's like a serial entrepreneur, and people always approach him because he's created businesses and sold his interest a bunch of times, and people always approached him on their business ideas. And he would always give them, he'd mentor them and give them advice, and then he would say, oh, well, my wife's an attorney, so you should talk to her about the legal stuff. And I just kind of noticed this trend of like more and more people were trying to figure out, okay, well, what do I need in order to do all this online? And it just kind of naturally flowed into that. Like I just realized that there's really a need for that. And I just, I spent like the last few years of my life on personal development, and so much of that is from the online space.
Mm-hmm.
And I just realized, like, I watched all these women really make a difference in this world and change people's lives, and they weren't legally protected. And I
Yeah.
thought how wonderful it would be for them to legally protect their business in a way that they could just go out there and feel empowered to just really change the world and change lives, knowing that they are legally backed.
So cool. It's honestly it's so genius. It's so important. And it's not something that I was thinking of when I first started my business. Like I didn't even know that I needed any of the documents that, I have from you now. But it's so interesting how like you could be helping so many people and at the same time, like it could all be taken away from you, you know?
Yeah.
But we'll get more into that. So, okay, cool. So share about how you've had everything prepared, you've had everything ready. Like what held you back from showing up and putting yourself out there? Because that was one of my scariest things too. And I think that's why we initially connected. Maybe, I don't know, but I attract people that kind of have the same like fear sometimes, and I was just so scared of judgment, what people were going to think of me. Like, oh, this girl's woo woo. Oh, this girl's this. She's too much of that. Like I had so many fears of judgment. What was it for you?
I mean, it was definitely that 100%. I was really scared of being judged, and not just from like all my people on social media, but also I was actually really worried too about like what my local attorney friends would say. Like what would they
Yeah.
think if I was working in the online space, and would it really be considered, being an attorney and legal, and I don't know. I was really scared to kind of put myself out there, and just incredibly intimidated by that and everything that came with it.
And so, I mean, obviously now they know that you're doing the thing and they're probably like, that's so smart. When you came into the online world though, and you started to like notice all these coaches, were you surprised at how many there were and like how many people were having these insane businesses, making so much money, helping so many people?
Yeah, I really and the not just like the amount, but like the different types of coaches that are out there. And not, I mean, like,
Yeah.
or just kind of like service based, because even like what I guess now the term is like soulpreneurs or whatever, like
Yeah.
people that like are really working from a soulful purpose. I mean, it's incredible. And I think I found everyone in that regard because I wanted to work on myself.
Yeah.
And I've always been like a personal development junkie. So but yeah, I mean, it really did take me by surprise to see how many people were out there talking about, like tapping and EFT and manifestation and, empowerment coaches. And I mean, it's like
Mhm.
insane, but it's so good and it's such a need. And yeah, I was taken aback by
I
that.
was so surprised. Like, I mean, I started my business in person, much like you, and I had an office and I helped people in my local community, and it was very like local. And then I had no idea this whole online world existed, like at all. And so I think Katherine Zankina was the first coach that I ever followed, Manifestation Babe. And now she's my friend, which is weird. It's cool how you manifest these people into your life. But it's like she was the one who messaged me and was like, hey, have you ever thought about doing a digital program? And I was like, no, actually, never, never, ever. She's like, it's a big business expander. And that was kind of like, then I got a discovery call from someone very far away. And I was like, oh my God, this is possible.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just
Yeah.
crazy. So I had another question for you about that. So
It's
what,
funny. She was
yeah,
the first person that I followed too.
really?
Yeah. When it came to manifestation. Totally.
How did you find me?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't really remember.
That's so funny.
I may have been from your podcast. I'm not sure, but
You may have found me from the podcast and now you're on it. Shit.
I know, full circle. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. I mean, it's funny. I don't really even remember how I found Katherine.
Right.
I don't know. It's just kind of like, someone that follows them or
Yeah.
something and they get suggested or something. I don't know, but
It's just funny how you hook into certain people and hook into their energy and their vibe. And I mean, I love you and I couldn't imagine not having you in my like sphere of like people. Like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like I've always known you in a way. You know what I mean? It's just funny how it's like we're Instagram friends and then you're, I don't know. It's just wild.
now we got
So,
to meet in real life.
yeah, that's next. IRL.
IRL. I know. I think about that too. I mean, and I know that we'll talk more about this,
Yeah.
but like, I don't even know where my life would be right now if I hadn't met you. Like,
Oh,
you
God.
literally changed my life 100%.
It's like, thank
I'm
you.
just so grateful. And I know
I'm so
we'll
grateful.
touch on
Yeah.
all of that, but I
Thank
mean,
you.
it's crazy.
You changed your life.
I know. Well, I know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I always have to say that though. But
You facilitated. You helped.
so Natalie actually joined my Receive program, Receive
Mhm.
like a badass manifester. I call it now Receive like a quantum coach because I attract coaches and I work with coaches. But after that, I was launching the Mastermind, Manifest Max Impact. And for some reason, like I knew that she had this business and I knew from the program that you wanted to put yourself out there and I didn't see you fully doing that yet. I saw you post, like you would post some things, but you just kept popping in my head. Like you need to reach out to Natalie. You need to reach out to Natalie. And so I did. And I told you about the Mastermind and I was like, this is the thing if you really want to come out of the closet of your business. If you want to come to the front of the screen instead of like behind the screen, you know what I mean? Like really put yourself out there. And you were like,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I mean, I was like,
Yeah.
I was very scared. Well, so I did the Receive program and I really felt like it kind of started like the wheels moving a little bit for, my train.
Totally.
And I don't know. I don't know. You're right. Like I wasn't like fully present with it because I don't think I was quite at a, I don't, it was all like baby steps, right? So like I'd spent 2 years kind of like completely in the shadows. And then the Receive program kind of brought me, into the light a little bit more. And, and then the Mastermind just like blew it up or whatever. But I mean, I knew I wanted to do it, but I was really like intimidated by the investment. And I know, you always hear coaches that say, well, you know, you're telling the universe, and it's true, you're telling the universe how serious you are by making an investment.
Mm-hmm. So
If you're not willing to make the investment, the universe isn't going to listen. It's not going to think that you're taking your business seriously. And I mean, that's like from so many different fronts, but not just coaches, but I don't know, like incorporating your business or whatever it is. But yeah, and so like the investment scared me, and I shared this story with you not so long ago, but I asked for it. I asked for angel numbers because I was like, okay, if I meant to do this, I want to see 888, and I didn't see 888 and I think that was like maybe the day that we got on the call, and I was like, by the end of the day, I want to see 888, and I didn't see 888.
wow.
And I like went to bed and I was super bummed about it. And I was like, Well, that kind of sucks because wait, but it in a good way, like it made me realize like how much I really truly wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So the next day was 4th of July, and we went to take my daughter out to ice cream, and like on a box on a shelf way up, like I would never have noticed it. Like it was like whatever, just storage or whatever. There was a phone number and it had 888 in it. And I was
Oh
like,
my God, that's so crazy.
I know. I messaged you and I was like, I'm in. I'll figure it out. I'm in.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it was
It was a line.
scary.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
for
was,
sure.
it was a totally aligned, totally aligned.
I'm so glad you did it because you blowing up, girl.
Thanks. I know. I'm really glad I did it too.
I mean, Natalie really like she stepped into her calling. Like she fully stepped into her calling of empowering women. Because at the end of the day, yeah, she's providing legal documents, but she's providing so much more because all of that and all the energy that goes into making those and everything that you like the support that you've given me and and through this process, it's just it really does feel so empowering because even on our like VIP call that we did, I learned so much about my business and like so things that I didn't even know that I should know. And you were like, this might bore you. And I'm like, no, no, no. No, this is like actually fucking great right now because I'm learning things and it's like empowering me in like dark spots, like blind spots that I didn't even know about my business.
Yeah, that was so funny when I said that. You're like, no, 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 take it back.
I was like,
You're
you're
like,
not
do
going to get,
not say that.
yeah, do not, you guys, this is a note for everybody. If you're a coach, if you're a leader, if you're a teacher, anything, you want to plant seeds into the subconscious mind that are going to give the result, like the desired result, right? So I'll call you out a little bit. We got on the call where she's going to be like doing this VIP experience with my templates that you can totally hire her for. And she was like, this is all going to be very boring. And I was like, you're going to say this is going to be informational and it's going to empower you and your subconscious mind will easily integrate all of this information. So however you present and frame what you're coming to people with is very important for the subconscious mind
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the brand.
It was funny because, well, during the mastermind, like I feel like, and I don't know if all of your clients feel this way, but I feel like you read me like a book. Like I do. I mean, I have during the mastermind, like every single time you would call me out. I mean, and you do it in a loving way. It's not like you're like, you know, but
Mhm.
I feel like you know what I'm feeling or what I'm doing every single time, and it's like it's crazy. I mean, it's so great because you just tap into like your intuition and you can just call me out.
It's thank you. Thank you for saying that. And it's interesting because this is a gift that I've been like developing and it's really hard. It was hard to trust, but now I'm just like all in with it. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it helps people.
yeah. Every single time you've called me out, it was like, yeah, she's right.
It happened recently on a call on the Magic bundle call. Oh, you were there. I don't know if you
Mhm.
saw this part, but there was a woman sharing and I just literally felt like everything in like where she was feeling it in her body. And I was like, are you feeling that like majorly in your chest? And she was like, yes. And it's just creepy how things show up like that. Like the intuition wants to come through all of us. It's not just a
Yeah,
gift I have. It's you have it too, by the way.
yeah. I know. I'm learning how to. I like was doing some work the other day, and I was like super nervous when I was doing it. Just kind of like I want to get it done. I want to get it done, and it made me think about you. And I was like, okay, what does this mean? Like,
Good.
what is this? What do these emotions mean? Because yeah, I mean, I just have never really listened to it, but
Or more like, what am I making these mean?
yeah. See, there you go.
Yeah. So powerful. No, it's good.
Yeah,
It's because I remember you saying something like, I'm not connected to my intuition. Didn't you say that?
yeah, I did. Yeah.
And then what did I say to trigger that? I forget what I asked you.
Um, I don't remember what you said, but it basically you were saying like everybody's intuitive, and you
Hmm.
just have to figure out like what exactly your emotions mean to you
Yeah.
and just listen to it. Because
Yours.
I wasn't
Yeah.
listening to it at all. And I wasn't listening to it, I mean, even to like bring it back to my business, like for the 2 years that I was preparing and preparing and preparing, I
Yeah.
wasn't listening to my intuition that was like, okay, just go, just jump.
Yeah.
It's safe.
Right.
You'll be fine. And even like when I, wasn't working at the firm anymore, like that was the universe being like, okay, there's something bigger for you. And I like wasn't listening to it. But your mastermind really allowed me to like step in and I mean it's such like a hot phrase, like messy action. Do the messy
Mhm.
action, right? It's like feel
Totally.
the feels and do the messy action. And I was like, I don't even know what that, I mean, to me, it didn't really resonate to me when people said that.
Yeah.
I
Until
was
you did
like,
it.
yeah, until you do it. And then you step into, and even the like the phrase like step into your fill in the blank, like six-figure version of yourself, or I don't know what, like
It's hard to connect to that sometimes.
totally. And I'm so much of a like a left brain person. So for me, like if I can't, if it's not logically spelled out, then it doesn't always resonate with me. But having done it and having quote stepped into myself and done the messy action, like now I know what that feels like. And that
Totally.
now there's like no going back.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I was just thinking of a couple things. Like, number one, you're like the levels of transformation, just watching you go through of like, going like Natalie literally went from completely behind the scenes to showing up. Like, and that was the messy action. It was like, well, asking yourself, well, how do I talk to the people that I want to talk to? And how do I go on an Instagram story and talk to them? And it's just like, once you just did one thing at a time, it just started to catch.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and it's funny too, because like so part of the mastermind was highlighting someone every single week and highlighting their business and their social media and what they're doing and their growth and everything.
Like
And
giving them feedback. She means giving them, like highlighting on someone to give them feedback on their presence and stuff.
yeah, like the whole group looks at one person's business for the week and then yeah, provides feedback. And I think I was the first person, or this maybe the second person, but I was one of the first few people. And I remember like being like, okay, I like volunteering myself to do it. I was like, okay, I'll do it this week. And then we got off the call and I was like, holy shit, like I actually have to do something now.
Yeah,
And
it,
I
it held you accountable to show up.
totally, but I like still wasn't even ready. Yeah, like had signed up for the mastermind and I still wasn't ready. Like that's bananas.
Yeah.
And I remember like I think that week was the day that I like one of those days I like made my announcement post. It was like, here's what I'm doing and da 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 da.
Right.
And like the way that it was received was night and day from what I expected. Like night and day. And not that I expected really people to like come out of the woodworks and like, I don't know, get all like trolly on Instagram or anything like that. But like I just didn't know. I didn't, and that's the thing, like if you don't do the messy action, it's not even like messy action. If you just don't do the thing that's scaring you, like you don't know that on the other side of that is something amazing.
Oh, it's so true.
And sometimes you need a little help, you know what I mean? Like I said, I wouldn't have been able to do this on my own. I really truly wouldn't have. I mean, maybe at some point, but I needed the support to do it, and I needed the like backing from everybody to
My my coach literally said today on the call that I was on, she said the only way to scale is to get support. And I was like, whoa,
yeah.
that's so powerful.
Well, I mean, it also is like so evident how when our mastermind ended, everybody was like,
We want it
basically
to
like,
keep
we
going.
want, we want to keep going. Can we do another month?
So cool. It was such an
Yeah.
amazing group, like incredible people. And it's funny because I'm also thinking like I don't think I've ever actually had one of my clients on my podcast before.
Oh,
Like
yay.
not even just talking about their experience like with me, as sort of a testimonial, but also just jamming out, like having a conversation. Like I don't think I've done that. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Paige, actually, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
Paige
that's
was,
right.
Paige was, Paige was. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I'll be,
cool.
it's
It's a,
cool. Yeah.
it's really cool.
Well, it must be surreal for you too to like I mean, I just like in your own journey, like, you know, not knowing how your business was going to be received at first. And like now
Mhm.
you're like out there, like you're changing people's lives.
I am interrupting this episode to let you guys know that Natalie went through the Manifest Max Impact Mastermind, and we just wrapped up this week. We didn't plan this episode to land right here either. It's just the universe and the way that it works. But we just wrapped up the last round of Manifest Max Impact Mastermind, the round after Natalie, and we're opening up our spots for June. So if you are ready to step into building your business, learning how to start, grow, and scale your coaching business, and get the support that you need, the sisterhood, the community, the connection in a small, high-level container, it's like working with me one-on-one, but it's better because there's another amazing coach, Jenna, and you get the entire crew, like the 7 ladies that are going to be in this mastermind. So we only have 5 spots left. If you are interested, let's see if it's a good fit. Make sure you email me, manifestwithash@gmail.com. Put the subject as mastermind, and we'll go from there. I'll send you the top secret invitation only. That's what my high level programs are. They're invitation only. And I keep it that way to make sure that it's the right energies in the group. And I'm really excited for the next round. It's bittersweet ending this round, but I know that it's just going to get better and better each time. And if you're curious about it, on my story highlights on Instagram, you can click the MMIM highlight and see some of the amazing testimonials and ladies that have been through the container. And feel free to message them, ask them questions. They know that people like to do their homework, so do your homework. So excited. If you're interested, email me, manifestwithash@gmail.com. Okay, back to the episode. It's so weird. It's so cool. I love it. I love it. Yeah. I mean, I was like ignorance on fire when I started my business. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I didn't know how to use the internet like I do now. I didn't know how to integrate things. I didn't know websites. I didn't know anything. But ultimately, it's all you can learn. You can learn how to do anything. And
Yeah.
if you have that drive and that passion, and like, that's really what I had. I had the mission. And it was scary at first because I had a really big yoga community that was local, and I was just so afraid that people would think that I was too woo-woo. That was my fear. And one of my teachers that trained me in yoga was like, don't talk about vibration because people won't know what that is, and keep it this way. Like, and it just got in my head a little bit. But then I was just like, you know what? I just got to do
Yeah.
me.
That's so funny because the yoga culture is so much different out here in California, where it's like all woo.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I know when you say that, you're like, I would imagine like a yoga community, like to be like the first community to support and like understand all that. But
I know,
that's just,
right?
yeah. But out here, like, everybody, like we do, it's like sound baths and yoga with crystals and like
Yeah.
everybody's like,
So cool. I got to come visit. But it's funny because when I say that now, I'm also reflecting and thinking that that was my own self-doubt that was being projected back to me. So it was just me showing myself what I'm most afraid of, which was
yeah,
judgment and rejection. And I think that that's relatable to anyone on any level, but especially when you are starting a business,
yeah.
you know?
Well, and I think it's funny too, because like it's always something, right? Like you're always like you always are gonna have to push through something.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, like the big push, I think November was like the big push for me. And once I pushed past, it was like, holy shit. I mean, my business like blew up. And
Yep.
I mean, I know that you noticed like my demeanor and like who I was in my core completely changed. Like completely changed. And I
Completely
know
changed.
like, I'll have other obstacles or fears or blocks or whatever in the future. Like I know that, that's all. Then it's like, oh, now I'm an entrepreneur. Like now what? You know what I mean? Or now that
Yeah.
I've made this amount of money, can I do it again? Or whatever it is. And like, I know that that's, you just kind of constantly have to like, channel and move past it. But I didn't know that at first.
Yeah. Yeah. It's you're right. New level, new devil, or new level, same devil. Like the same thing keeps showing up and you just have to keep moving through it. But for you, it was like you came to one call. I mean, a lot of calls, but like this one time in particular, and you were just like, I don't know who I am, you guys. Like, but I like it. It was just so cool to watch you like step into something that you've wanted, that you probably saw yourself doing in your head, but finally just actually did it in real life.
Yeah, I kind of like I don't know, like maybe this analogy can be relatable to some people, but it's relatable to me. But like I felt like I like became the cool kid in high school. You know what I mean? Like, does that
Yeah.
make sense? Like
Yeah.
I just because when I started the mastermind, I mean, I was so like meek and quiet, and I was
Shy.
kind of
You were
like
shy.
I was shy. I was like, oh, I want to do this business and blah, blah, blah. And I remember like we talked about like ideal client and everyone was like, Natalie has the idea, like your ideal client's on lock. Like you, and I was like, I didn't even realize that I like had it, like I knew exactly what, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I do or whatever.
Yeah.
But like every single time I showed up and like it was okay or it was better than I expected, then I just became like this like butterfly. And then at some point I just like it was exactly that. Like I just like felt like a cool kid all of a sudden. I was like
That's amazing.
I don't know if that's relatable to some people, but I
It is
wasn't
to
a
me
cool
because
kid
I
in
was
high school.
never the cool kid in high school. I was just like the girl that everybody knew. Like, but I wasn't cool.
That is exactly what I was too. My brother was
Right.
the cool kid and I was like his sister.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I was the girl with the boyfriend the whole time, like, meh. But
Yeah, but I mean, that transformation for me, it didn't just resonate in my business, like it really resonated in my whole life and in all areas of my life. And it's funny too, because like I remember when we did our first one-on-one and we did a lot of like obviously we did a lot of inner work. And I
mhm.
remember like and it was so emotional and it was so much growth and I remember you gave me an assignment again. You totally called me out and you were like, this is it. Like this is what you have to do. And I'm like, ugh, okay, shit. And I remember like leaving the call and being like, we didn't talk about business at all.
Yeah.
And being like not disappointed, but just kind of feeling like,
Did I use
okay,
that time wisely?
totally,
Yeah.
totally. And then I did the thing that you told me to do, and everything changed. Like
Yep.
it was like domino effect. Like it waterfalled all this, like it was like a total unblocking of like an energetic.
It's so weird. Like it's not that's a horrible word, but it's weird. It's cool how that is a thing with energy. It's like if you can get to like that one thing that's blocking you up and release it, everything else starts to fall into place.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one
Well,
of my I feel like I'm good at that with people is like even with Paige Cole, right? I'm like, you're hiding, you
yeah.
need to come out of the stripper closet. You know what I mean? Like I just could call it out immediately. It's like weird. And I knew that if she did that, everything would fall into place.
Yeah. I mean, it was the same thing with me. You knew you were like, okay, you have to do XYZ.
It was a conversation,
It was
right?
a conversation that I had to
Yeah.
have. Yeah,
Yeah.
because and I remember like you were like your throat chakra's blocked, and then there was like some other stuff that happened, which I won't get into.
Yeah.
But when I finally got it unblocked, when I had the conversation, like it just it's so funny because like you don't think that they're linked. Like it was just a conversation.
Yeah,
It wasn't
connecting the
like
dots. If you can connect the dots of your life, that's why coaches are so powerful to have because they can see things that you can't see if they're good. You know what I mean? Like they can see
yeah,
your blind spots and can see where you need help connecting the dots. And when you connect the dots of like when your throat's closed in your life, imagine like no wonder why you couldn't show up in your business because your throat was closed.
hmm
Your
yeah.
same throat, life, business, same throat.
I didn't get a throat transplant. Same throat.
Exactly.
Same business actually too.
Right.
Yeah, and the thing, I mean, you're right. Like I wouldn't I mean, yes, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that can do the inner work themselves and work through it and journal and get through the blocks and all that stuff, but I wouldn't have been able to figure all that out if it wasn't for your help. I mean,
We
you need coaches.
You do. Like I have people in my life, I have coach, I have spiritual teachers and healers and they help me see things that I literally cannot see. And
Yeah.
it's the most valuable thing. It's like my secret weapons because the more you unlock those energies within yourself, because it's just energy that's like stuck, the more you can grow and expand. Like it's just the way that it works. So it's kind of cool
Yeah.
when you're willing to do that work because not everybody is.
Well, and also like the awareness of it, like I wasn't like although I was feeling like I could physically feel that my throat was blocked, it wasn't really an awareness for me until we had that conversation and you basically were like, okay, your throat chakra is blocked. And I was like, now that she mentions it, like it does feel but I wouldn't have like put any of that together, not so it's not just the like moving through the block, but it's also identifying the block.
So true. So true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that there's people that are out there that can do that for themselves, but I
You.
think most of us need the support.
Yeah. And once you do it often enough, and then you start to be able, like, then you're able to tune into your energy and be like, okay, why do I feel wonky? Like, what's going on? And then you're doing self inquiry and you're figuring things out. And then you're taking the time that you need to release the energy. And yeah, for sure. It's definitely doable. My dog is barking in the background. He's like, yes.
He's like, speak it, sister.
Do you hear him? Hold on one second, everybody. We're going to shut the door. Hold on.
Speaking of throat chakra being unblocked.
Yeah, yeah. My dog's throat chakra, definitely not blocked.
Unblocked.
Unblocked.
I love that you have a Harley. I have a Harley too.
You do have a Harley?
Yeah.
Wait, your cat's name is Harley, right?
No, we have a dog Harley, our Shiba.
Oh, what's your cat's name?
We don't have one. We got 3 dogs.
I swear you had a cat.
My mother-in-law, I do a lot of like, I did a lot of masterminds from her
Okay.
house because I was cat sitting because she was out of town. Her cat's name is Oscar.
I know I saw a cat.
I saw a cat butt in a couple videos.
Yeah.
Because he likes to walk on my computer.
So cute.
Mm-hmm.
So for everyone wondering, like, do I need Natalie? Is my business at the level where I would need an attorney? Because we're kind of going back and forth, right? Like she's sharing about her experience. I'm sharing about my experience with her. I wish that I had this stuff in place when I started my business for like all my legal templates, all my legal documents. So is it safe to say that you're my attorney for my business, or is that not the right terminology?
No. No, it is. I am. Yes, you can say that.
It sounds just so cool. I just want to say it. I have an attorney.
I have an attorney on my team.
Yes, exactly. So what does that look like for people? Like what do people need to know about their businesses to know if they need protection?
Well, I get that question like so often because I think people expect like a line, right? People expect like if you make over, 3,000 a month or 10,000 a month or whatever it is, then you need this. But like that's not ever my response. My response is if you love your business and you want to protect it and treat it like a business that you love, then you need to do this.
I love that. And I just want to preface before you go on that I saw this post recently and it really rang true to me. And it was like this girl graduating college and she's like, college investment, $30,000. Return on investment, like $30,000 or something.
Like negative.
Business investment, right. Business investment, 100K plus. Return on investment, $1 million plus. Did you see that post?
No, but you told me about it.
I was just like, oh my God, this is so true. And she's like, not that I loved college and I would do it again because it was so awesome. She's like, but people that start online businesses, they're not as willing to invest in it when in societal terms, it's like, oh, no problem. We can just invest in college. That's just normal to spend $30,000 and then not maybe even be able to find a job afterwards. Right. And then when it comes to online business, people are like, oh, a $2,000 website this or a $4,000 mastermind, like that's going to teach me how to run my business. That's crazy. But the truth of the matter is that you have to invest in your like in order to get where you want to be, like in any other business, if it was not online, you would be investing way more.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
So,
well, and the thing is too, like, when you're investing in college, like you're essentially investing in yourself, which is great. I mean, you're investing in your education and your learning and you're, expanding your mind and, working towards your degree. But when you invest in your business, so when you invest in masterminds and coaches and websites and legal and all of that stuff, you're investing in your business, not a degree. You're
Right.
investing to grow this business.
I love
And
that.
it's such a huge difference that
That's a post. You need to do that. That's a post.
um, but I think like, yeah, I mean, so like I said, I think for people, if they're wondering if it's time to invest in legal, I'm not going to go into, I mean, go on my Instagram and look at all the scary stats of like the people that end up having to hire attorneys or the legal fees that you can get by not having what you need on your website
Mm-hmm.
and all of that stuff, which by the way, if you don't have what you need on your website, you basically, it's the fine is per visitor. So you basically could get fined your whole entire income for the year, which is frightening. And that's not to mention, if someone sues you, if there's disputes between you and a client, if there's disputes between something that you posted on your website. I mean, it's like never ending. And I'm not here to like scare tactic,
I was
but
just going to say, this isn't to scare you guys. This is really to help you guys.
yeah, I mean, like I said, my whole vision is to create this community of empowered women so that they aren't scared of, so they can freely share and freely post and freely help people and not worry about being sued or being fined or, because that's where the growth happens, if you can freely commit to your business and not have to worry about, well, I can't really say this because I'm going to get sued.
So true.
And so, I mean, like I said, so how do you know if it's time to invest in the legal in your business?
Mm-hmm.
If you truly love your business and you don't want someone to steal your content, you don't want to pay money out of your own pocket to protect yourself in a lawsuit, if you love your business enough where you want to step into a different level of empowerment, then it's time to invest in your business in the legal standpoint, in the legal portion of it, because it's not a monetary thing. It's not
Yeah.
$1,000 a month. It's not $10,000 a month. I mean, certainly if you hit a certain amount and you don't have legal protections on your website, it's frightening to me.
Yeah.
But it's not a monetary. It's not like if you make a certain amount, it's how you feel about your business. And also like I learned from working with you that it's how you project and how you treat your business is how the universe is going to return on it. Like
Yes. I
if
was
you
just
treat
going to
it
say
like a
that.
business, yeah, if you treat it like a business, if you treat like investing in yourself, like investing in the mastermind, like I said, it changed me, it changed my business. But that was me telling the universe, I'm ready. Like I'm ready,
So
I'm going to
true.
commit to this and I'm ready to grow. And it's the same thing with legal, like if you're going to invest in that, you're telling the universe, I'm kind of a big deal.
Yes.
And so's my business. And let's legally protect it, right? Why not? I mean, and
I,
it's really not as expensive as people think it is, honestly.
it's really not. Like, and I want to say before I want, like, you can totally share about that too, because I think it's like good just to hear. But and it's not even a question for me. Like if I was going to invest, I was like, Natalie, just take my money. Like I want to do this. Like I need all the things. Like give me all the things. But I was going to say, like, what is your vision for your business? If it's huge, I mean, either way, but like I have a huge vision for my business. So for me, it was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I haven't done this sooner. But I'm so glad I'm doing it now because I do feel like energetically to the universe, it's going to be like, okay, you couldn't grow to the point that you actually want to grow yet because God forbid something went wrong or like you wouldn't have been protected.
Totally.
So
Yeah,
that's really how
totally.
I feel. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
And that's kind of, I mean, that's like my whole perspective of it too, is, and I get the same question about, well, when do I become an LLC or, when should I, I'm like, well, when does your business actually mean that to you? Like, when are you going to
100%.
tell your business? When are you going to tell the universe, hey, my business is ready to be an LLC. I'm ready to
Right.
like hire people and
It's
grow
so
my team.
funny.
And
Yeah. I just hired a VA and she's awesome. She's my social media manager. And when she invoiced me, I could tell that she didn't have the business PayPal and it didn't look like an LLC. And I said to her, you need to upgrade to the business PayPal. And I wasn't saying it and I was saying it because I'm like, you have a business. Like she's newer, right? At I think what she's doing. But I was like, you need to upgrade because that's literally telling the universe that you are a legitimate business. And like, yes, you're going to have to pay fines on when I pay you. And like, that's okay because everybody pays PayPal fees. If you're a business, you can't get around that.
Calling people out, Ash.
I know. And I love you.
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Well, and I like when I first did, I mean, part of like the reason why it took me 2 years is because I DIY'd everything, right? Like I built my own website
Yeah.
and I actually wrote out all of my own legal templates, which I'm an attorney, so it's whatever. No, but it's boring and it's exciting to write them, but it's a lot of work. But I just, so I understand what it's like to DIY and to not want to spend the money on the thing. I didn't want to spend money on a web developer. I didn't want to spend money on someone to do my website. So I did it myself. Do I love it? Yeah. Do I think I could up level a little? Yeah, for sure. But, and I didn't want to spend money on like an invoicing service and all of the things. I didn't want to spend the money on it. I'm like, well, I'll get a little bit of money and then I'll spend the money for expenses. But it's the wrong thing. It's the wrong thing that you're telling the universe. And once I started like, okay, now I am going to sign up for XYZ. And, I signed up for Aweber and I signed up for this and that. And like, that's kind of when it all started happening.
You're so right. And it's funny because like getting an email provider for your business is another big deal. I feel like that's a big step in business. I'll never forget the day that I first did that. I was sitting at a Starbucks and I took a deep breath and I was just like, okay. So I had all these papers of workshops that I did in person with everyone's like names and emails that I was going to import like manually. I was like, all right, well, I'm a business. Like I'm going to write these, I'm going to have an email provider now. Like it was a big step. And
Yeah.
it really does tell the universe, like, hey, girl,
Yeah.
you're ready.
Well, and not to mention, like, I mean, trying to write all, like, let's say all your website documents, like, first off, don't do that. Don't write them on your own. Don't get a template online that wasn't written by an attorney. It's
No.
probably not going to protect you because it's probably not written by an attorney that was in the online space or knows the online space. It's like a legal Zoom document, which don't go do that. And don't try to write them yourselves. And certainly, I see this all the time. Don't go borrow someone from another coach or let your friend give you their website documents because what's that telling the universe?
So freaking true.
I mean, not to mention it's illegal, but
By the way,
it's
that's not
illegal.
legal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean, it's a violation of intellectual property law. So technically all of the documents that are written by an attorney belong to that attorney. They don't belong to the coach that purchased them. They belong to the attorney that wrote them.
And
But
you might miss something and it might still say the other person's business on it.
I saw I have a couple stories about that. I just saw I always get kind of curious when I follow people online and I go check out their websites or I just like to see
He's
what
going to
people are
come
doing.
stalk you.
I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna start calling people out like Ash.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
She's like,
just
what
so
are you
you
doing?
know.
Just
Well,
so you know, you're not protected.
I found this coach and she has like, I don't know, like 25,000 followers or something insane. And I went and checked out her website documents and it doesn't even have her company in there. It has the like insert company name here. Yeah.
Did
And I
you
was
tell
like,
her?
no, not yet. I will. I'm still working on my throat chakra.
We got to just work on that pitch, you
I
know?
know. Yeah, I will.
'Cause
And I want to come from a loving place because
of
I
course
don't,
you will.
she doesn't have to get it from me. She can get it from anyone she wants.
And
But
you
I just want to be like,
exactly.
I
Exactly.
just,
I'll help you craft that.
but I saw it and I was like, it frightens me a little. It scares me a little bit because I know she borrowed it from somebody else, obviously, and then she never changed the information on it. So yes, she has something in place. Yes, she
It's
has her
not
website
protecting
document.
her.
It's not protecting her at all. 100% not protecting her at all. And not to mention, I have a client who ended up buying templates.
This is like a spiritual condom for your business.
It totally is. It really is. But I have a client who bought templates from me and she had borrowed or her friend had lent her her documents And then she went to work with a coach and sent the coach a contract. Well, it happened to be that coach's contract.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that someone else had like let her use or whatever. And so at that point she was like, by the way, I need some legal documents because
Yeah.
I mean, look, the internet's big, but it ain't that big.
It's small, you guys. It's a small, small world. I was like, I'm going to go be under the radar in this place. Like, oh no. Oh no. People talk, people know things. It comes out. Just be in integrity. That's all.
Yeah.
Um, that made me think of something. I have a client who started her business quickly, hit the ground running, started crushing it so quick. And she didn't have any contracts in place. She was taking on clients with no contracts. She didn't understand why she needed one until people want to stop paying you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a big deal, you guys. Like if you finally get that one-on-one client and you take a payment from them and then the next payment doesn't come through and you don't have a contract, that's going to feel really shitty because you're giving them your all as a coach and you're not protected. You can't, there's nothing you can do about it because there's no contract.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention if you have a client that lives like in Alaska or something and they don't like something that you did and they sue you and now you have to go to Alaska to defend yourself.
So crazy. Actually,
But
I did have 2 people in the Receive program that you are in, and they were both from Alaska.
That's awesome.
I swear it happens, you guys. You will attract people from all over the place.
Well, and all over the world too. If you have a
Yeah.
dispute with a client and you don't have the right, it's not, I mean, let's say you do have a client agreement, but it's something that you like found off the internet and you don't have a clause in there that says where, disputes have to be settled, you could go to another country and have to settle your dispute. It's crazy.
Yeah. You guys,
Yeah.
bottom line, just go see Natalie and she will help you get legally compliant in your biz because it's time. It's 2020, the year of vision. And if you have a big vision, you're listening to this, I know you do, like you're going to want to up level and get in full alignment with that vision. And that, trust me, it means getting legally protected because that I'm literally on that path with you all. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah. And if you're listening to this and you're nervous, then that means that you should probably get legally compliant.
Yeah.
If this conversation is making you uncomfortable, then come find me on Instagram. And I have payment plans. Like it is honestly way more affordable than you'd think. And
it's accessible. Yeah, for
100%.
Sure.
And if I have payment plans that are too much for you, then just reach out to me. I'm flexible. I want, like I said, I want everyone to just be empowered in their businesses from a legal perspective. So I want to help everybody in any way that I can.
Awesome. And she does. She's amazing, y'all. So grateful. So I got to ask, what makes you a badass manifester?
Because what's really funny? I know that you ask everybody this, but I honestly didn't think about it.
Well, good.
And I know the answer right away. I'm a badass manifester because I realized my potential and I know how to step into that now.
Awesome.
And I became a butterfly.
You did.
I'm like a butterfly manifester.
You really are. I'm so proud of you. I love you.
Thank you. I love you. I mean, like I said, I couldn't have done this without your help.
Thank you. Thank you guys. I mean, not you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. I grew and launched and am continuing to grow because of the teachings that we did together.
Amazing.
And I'm so grateful for that. Really grateful.
I'm so grateful too. Thank you. I receive the love. Well, tell everyone where they can find you and connect with you.
I am most active on Instagram, so you can find me at Natalie Puglisi, all one word. I also have a Facebook group that's called Empowered Female Entrepreneurs.
Yes.
If you don't want to search it because it's really difficult to spell entrepreneurs, then I have a link in my bio on Instagram. And it's a community just where we can all talk about, our legal, and I have a free Legal Talk Tuesdays where I come in and answer all of your biz legal questions for free. And
awesome.
yeah, it's a really great community of, online female entrepreneurs, and we can just all be there to support each other. It's not all legal.
Yeah.
We all support each other in a lot of ways. So
She's always dropping knowledge bombs, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook, or like she's just always, you're always giving so much value. And so definitely follow her. We'll have her Instagram and her Facebook group and her website linked up in the show notes. So you'll be able to get in touch with her. And if you have any questions, you can always ask me. She's doing my whole business. So ask away, and thank you. Thanks for sharing about your experience with me in the mastermind, and for stepping into your light.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for helping me.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Woo! We did some work today because that is how we roll. Thank you so much for listening. You know I love my BAM fam. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who you know would love it too. How can you support the show? Make sure you're subscribed, hit those 5 stars, and leave a review on iTunes, and let me know how the podcast has impacted you. It truly means the world to me. I love being part of your real-time journey, so screenshot this episode and tag me and my guests on IG at Manifest with Ash. Say with me, I am my own power source. I am the master of my own energy. I deserve everything I desire. Now go get 'em.